sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am Kelvin Crosby, and I'm your host at the See Me Game podcast. We have invented a way to have defensive walking. You ready to go on this journey with me? Let's do this. Hey, so good to see you. No, I can't see you. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. And if you're not used to that intro, well, you might want to get used to it. Over the next few months, we're going to be exploring the See Me cane, and you're going to be seeing the progress of the See Me cane. I'm excited to launch the first episode of the See Me cane podcast. It's been a long time coming to get to this point. A lot of hard work has gone into this. A lot of money has gone into this. We're excited. You can pre-order your See Me cane now. You're getting $75 off your canes, which are going to be normally $300. And we'll get into that, why we had to go up in price from the original See Me canes. Let's go on today's journey on today's show. So we're going to be covering two different things. We're going to talk about why did I invent the See Me cane, and two is what is all involved in the pre-order process. And what are you going to get? What are your options? And what's the new updates in the See Me cane? So why did I get into the See Me cane? Why did I build it? Well, originally I was hit by a car 3 times, and twice in New York and once here in San Diego. That really didn't necessarily spring me into making a See Me cane, but that is something that made me realize people weren't seeing me. But what really sprung me in was a friend of mine getting hit by a car. And to me, that really just rattled my cage. And I realized I need to build something. And I had a team at the time, and we started building the first prototype of the See Me cane. It was okay. It was very lightsabery, very much like that. And as time went on, people started saying, "I like this. I like this." So then the real business started to needing to start getting done. More and more people are coming and telling me these stories of being hit by cars. And over the next few months, we're going to start hearing more of these stories. And they're going to come on the podcast, and we're going to have this conversation. Because I think it's extremely important that we break this mold that a lot of us don't fully have it support people that say, well, I've been hit by a car. I mean, my last research study that I did on this was about a year ago. And I was finding that it was 1 every 2 people being hit by a car. But if you want to take it from a documentation standpoint, it's 1 out of 3 visually impaired people that would get hit by a car, and that is 87 million visually impaired people that will have this experience. This is a problem. And with all this information, my life story, and my friend in her situation, this lit a fire underneath me and realized I need to do it. Let's talk about the pre-order. Several of you are saying, well, Kelvin, didn't you launch the See Me cane 2 years ago? Yeah, I did. Then where is it? Not sure. What ended up happening with that version of the See Me cane, so we're calling that cane See Me cane 2023 because it was produced in 2023. We made 125 of them. We put them out to market. We had about 4 come back because of damages and so forth, but they worked. They're still working. People are happy with them. We're doing okay. But when we went from my engineer Angie, which you'll meet here in a couple months, we went from her back bedroom making these See Me canes to trying to scale to do 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000 See Me canes. There were issues, and it was taking too much time to make the See Me canes. And we realized that this version, the 2023 version of the Simi cane, was going to need to go into construction. And that's why we paused the Simi cane for 2024. I think the last Simi cane we shipped in 2024 was March. And that was the last one we shipped out. And as that kind of came crashing down, and we realized we couldn't manufacture the 2023 canes, that's when we went back to the drawing table. And that is when we had to, let's redesign this. There wasn't a lot of redesign that had to be done. We just needed to get it so it was manufacturable. And so we did that. We got that kind of flushed out, had those conversations, started working through the process. And then we really wanted, since we're already here, we're already putting the money in, make this available so that we can employ visually impaired people to manufacture the Simi canes. And this is the exciting part, that leaving the 2023 cane, going to this new Simi cane called the Simi cane 1R, we realize if we can build this cane so that visually impaired people can manufacture the canes, we can make a big difference in the visually impaired community. Unemployment rate for visually impaired people is 75%. It's sad to hear. And I mean, being a job developer in my older days, prior days, I mean, I know how hard it is to get visually impaired people jobs. And I realize we need to solve this problem by creating products like the Simi cane and designing the manufacturing process so that visually impaired people can make them. It's a win-win for all of us, right? We're making ourselves safe, we're employing visually impaired people, and we're making change for today's society. So I'm super excited about it. So how do you pre-order? Go to seemecane.com. 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 Go there. You'll see buttons that says pre-order Simi Cane 1R. So you could go there. You all right off the bat is $75 to purchase your Simi Cane. You're going into the pre-order system, so you're not actually buying the Simi Cane at that moment. You're making your deposit for your Simi Cane at $225, and we'll get in a second why the price is so high, because we do need to have that conversation. I know some of you are gonna be like, "Kelvin, why?" Let's have that conversation. But once you've gone through that process, you're gonna get an email with access to the Simi Cane podcast. The Simi Cane podcast is your tool to stay up to date when we're gonna ship out Simi Cane, and you get to follow the journey of the Simi Cane. So that's why when you pre-order, you get to do that. If you're not gonna pre-order, you can follow on YouTube at Simi Cane and go to the playlist Simi Cane podcast, or you can go to Simi Cane in your podcast player, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the bells and whistles, and you can listen to it there. This podcast will not have B-roll. It will not have Simi Canes. It's just you and I conversation, because I realize if I'm going to produce content and try to create marketing content and get news out to you, because I'm a solo entrepreneur, I got to make this easy so that way I can get you guys the information that you guys need so that we can all be successful. So let's talk about the price. $225 is your pre-order price. Why is the Simi King going to be being sold at $300? It is more expensive than the 2023 Simi Canes. What happened there? Well, really, I should have been selling the Simi Cane 2023 canes at $300. I sold those 125 Simi canes at a loss. I was very fortunate, thanks to my friend Spencer. He raised enough money for me to offset my costs on that. And the other thing, cost of materials in 2023 was fairly high for the materials that we were using. They have come down a little bit, but here's the biggest thing. Going from garage to manufacturing, that process, it cost me a ton of money. We're talking over $100,000. So because of that cost, we need to be able to recuperate that money so we can make the folding semi cane and we can make other things, semi canes, and we can cover the overhead. And so all that to say, the $300 price tag when the semi cane goes full blown to market, it's essentially to keep the semi cane alive and keep it going, keep people employed, and keep people moving. So that way we can get to the folding semi canes, we can do the natural navigation stuff, we can do all of that stuff down the road, and keep the business alive. Am I taking a paycheck? Nope. I haven't taken a paycheck since I started this company. So I just want to be very clear. Like, I'm not doing this to line my pockets. And I'll be honest, I didn't get into this business to line my pockets. I got into this business to save visually impaired people's lives, protect them from getting into the hospital, and give you confidence that you can navigate to point A to point B safely and be seen and have this new word that I would love to bring up. And this is why I'm glad I brought this up, is defensive walking. For the first time ever, people, we have defensive walking because of the See Me cane. None of our canes that we have today does defensive walking. So let me give you that definition really quick before we wrap up. To indicate that we are here, we're in an environment that we need to be seen, and we have a way to experience the environment reacting to us. So that is what defensive walking, and I really want us to start using this word. This is my defensive walking See Me cane. And as you're going to start hearing me use this more and more, because I want this to become part of the new movement around the See Me cane. Because as visually impaired people, we got to be proud. Be proud that we're visually impaired and be loud. And if we can be proud and loud and have defensive walking, isn't that going to create more independence and freedom? So, all right. Well, I hope that was entertaining for you. If you have questions, leave them in the comments if you're on YouTube. And if you're on the podcast, you can email me at podcast@seemecane.com. So that's podcast@seemecane.com, and ask your questions, and we'll go from there. So, as I always will say, when I wrap any of my radio shows or my podcast, anything I do, because I don't only just run the See Me cane, I run other businesses and other things. But one of the things that I always encourage people to do in their lives, and that is to live beyond your challenges. So, as I sign out, go live beyond your challenges, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
If you would like to pre-order your See Me cane, go to seemecane.com.